everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, where this is ActionX's premiere, no, not premiere, I don't know. This is ActionX's show where we talk about television stuff, whether that is doing reviews of every episode of a season, or doing every season reviewed, or doing these quick impressions, because why not? Yeah, so if you're unaware, we were currently doing, if you're a fan of the Every Arrow season review, just brief us out before I get to the regular introductions. Yeah, so sorry, scheduling snafu happened. The season 3 review has not yet been recorded, so we had to push that back a week, so it'll be next week. Sal is still in need of more time to finish season 3, so not a good sign that we're going to finish on time, but hey, what can we do? He's doing this in the validity of his own free time. I'm not rushing him. So, and there's still a lot more shows to talk about with Seinfeld. So if you're clicking on this video and you're wondering, Seinfeld quick impression, what is that? So, as many of you know, we've been hit with a pandemic. Majority of people have been locked down since March of 2020, mostly. And as a result, at least for me, I managed to lose all my television shows because majority of them went on hiatuses, and then they just came back later on just to burn out the remaining episodes. And now we're supposedly going to have a soft return in January. Some shows are coming back in a couple of weeks, like Young Sheldon, like I did last time. So one of the shows that I finally decided to chalk off my list was Seinfeld. Seinfeld has been a show that when I made this very rough watch list in 2016. That was my very first ever watch list that I produced ever. And one of the things on it was Seinfeld. I was always very curious, like Big Bang Theory, like Friends, like how did this show become so popular for it to last, in Seinfeld's case, nearly a decade? Like how does that happen? And considering the fact that I've heard recommendations, I've heard good things, I've heard bad things about the show. So I was very much curious to see where I was already tied up with a lot of other comedy shows at the time, so I wasn't really enticed to go to Seinfeld right away. Between Cheers, Frasier, Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother for the upteen billionth time, even Friends, I just didn't have an itch to go to Seinfeld anytime soon. And then the pandemic hit. A lot of my shows were out. Thankfully, I think from what I remember, majority of the ones we did for What's in the Tube still kept going, with some delays now and then, but they still kept going on. And in the meantime, while I was still in between those certain projects, I managed to watch Seinfeld on Hulu. And I don't know why. It's so ridiculous. It's so, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, overall, my baseline impression is I really did enjoy the show. I really did. And I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've said this before in every single thing I've ever covered on What's in the Tube, from How I Met Your Mother to Nancy Drew to Stargirl, all those shows I've reviewed before in the past, and I will say this again until the day I die or the day this show ends. A show's basic, especially comedies, is that in comedies and sitcoms, there's no real plot most of the time. I mean, yes, there's episode plots. I know, you know what I mean. I mean, there's no like overall plot. Like in Arrow, Oliver Queen has to save the city. In Doctor Who, he travels throughout time and space to protect people, as well as, see things with his traveling companion. That's that sort of thing. In sitcoms like Seinfeld, there really is no like general major plot. It's just your day-to-day hilarious situation activities with your friends, family, whatever the show's about. In this case, it's Jerry Seinfeld and his friends. Well, a fictional version of Jerry Seinfeld. I never understood how comedians back in the day would just get their own shows. Like there was the, what the hell? I think there was the Jamie Foxx show, but I never saw that one. Was there a Fox? I think so. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting it. Oh, and and Cosby, the Cosby Show and stuff like that. So I was aware of those, but then when it came to Seinfeld, I knew it was like a very more special breed. Geez, how do I say this politely? I guess I heard some criticism online that Jerry Seinfeld wasn't much of a good actor. I thought he did fine in this show. Actually, let's get into the show itself. Seinfeld, I really did like. I really did. I think I've said this before on the top of the show. I enjoyed it. For me, comedy's very subjective. Everyone's going to think so that's the one thing that comedies always are very much take it with a grain of salt / go see it yourself. Everyone has a different sense of comedy. There is no such thing as a universal a universal comedy style that works with everyone. Everyone has their own different style. Everyone has their own different flair. So whenever someone says one show is better than the other, or they're like, this is the definitive comedy show, it might be for a majority of people, but not everyone's going to like it. I mean, my father and I have very different sense of comedy. So when I recommend a show to him, he doesn't like it. And then when he recommends a show to me, I don't like it. So it's all subjective. In Seinfeld's case, they said this before in the show. This is kind of a mild spoiler. It's a show about nothing. It's basically the lives of Jerry Seinfeld, his friend George Costanza, Elaine Richardson, I think that's the last name, and of course Cosmo Kramer. And yes, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Kramer is basically Alan in comedy. I said this before to you, Alan, privately. If you're watching this, yes, you are Kramer in my head. I'm sorry, you two are so freaking ridiculous, and that's what Kramer is too. I think he's the breakout character, by the way. Oh, that's good. And even if I don't like, the one thing I have to say about comedies, and I said this in the Big Bang Theory review, I think at the start of this year, I remember a decent amount of episodes. So I remember the Calzone episode. I remember the Virgin episode. I remember the East River swimming. It was like I'm remembering certain subplots from the episode, and that's the thing about sitcoms that at least that relates to. Besides How I Met Your Mother, and yeah, just How I Met Your Mother. Like usually when it comes to sitcoms, I tend to forget them. Like it's in the moment type thing. So. And I'm not saying that How I Met Your Mother is the bar for sitcoms, in my opinion. It's not. I love How I Met Your Mother so much. I got the 100 episode of the show if you want to hear my thoughts on it with George. But it's just so difficult for me to remember, if you know what I mean. Like, I remember a lot of things about it. Like, Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry himself. He's very much of a... I think he's a normal man of the 90s, or he was a normal man of that time period where... Yeah, he's doing what he likes. He's kind of a wisecracker. He's kind of a little bit of an asshole at some points. But again, you can say that about all the characters. That's the thing. And I feel like they didn't go... I didn't realize this till later on in the season. And I'm going to start spoiling some things. So if you don't want to hear me talk about certain things, please skip away or watch the end of this review to hear my final thoughts on it. I was very much... so there was a whole subplot, a whole season subplot during... one of the later seasons where George gets engaged with an ex-girlfriend, and somehow she accepts, and even after that, he starts to regret the whole engagement, and now he's basically trapped in this engagement. And all throughout the season, he's just basically trying to find a way out of getting out of an engagement, even though he could have just done the most simplest thing in the world. Just tell her, hey, I don't like you, or I made a mistake. Before we spend money, time, potentially kids, here's the truth. I fucked up. I didn't mean to propose to you. That would have simply solved the issue. But again, being a different time period, being this is a sitcom, he just tries to find some reasonable way out of it. Well, George's reasonable way out of this, in my opinion. And then at the end of the season when she dies, yeah, I'm not kidding. In the I watched Full House around this. This came out at the same time period as Full House. When someone died on Full House, they cried. There was emotion. The actors actually put tears and a lot of work into those scenes. In Seinfeld's case, they just shrugged it off. And it was kind of like a mixed reaction for me. I did not like it because death is not something you should take lightly, and especially since I was watching this before during the pandemic, it wasn't a proper thing for me to watch anyway. Or at least whatever, you know what I mean. And then on the other spectrum, it fits in the lines with those characters. Like, I started to see like, these guys fucking suck. And I remember the scene when Kramer had a rickshaw plan with, oh my God, Newman. Oh my God, I'll talk about Newman in a bit, but like, they had a whole like scheme to like make some money in New York by being a rickshaw business. Kramer just screwed up, and he let Newman get rammed into someone else, and instead of going towards him to help his friend, he immediately just runs away like, huh? I mean, I would have accepted. I know Kramer is like kind of like a snidey, trying to get away with it type of guy, but still, come on. I mean, I just don't get it. And what was I going to say? And Jerry can be a little bit unreasonable with his girlfriends at the time. I mean, I would understand certain things, and then I would roll my eyes on other things. So that was very much, but to get back to my point, like, so when we got to that point in that season, at the end, it was like, huh, these guys are douchebags. They really are. Like, why was I feeling any sympathetic towards them? And then the next season, ironically, as a parallel, George gets stuck in the hospital for the entire summer, and the same thing, Jerry. It was basically like a callback to that season finale, the last one, where they just said, "Okay," and they just walked away. It's like, damn, these people give no fucks. I'm being honest here. Part of my language, they give no fucks, and that works in the flavor of like if they're not getting personally affected by it, they'll just walk away from it. But but they only care about it when it's really really affected by it. Like you can tell in those moments, like fuck, I'm screwed in this situation. I have to fix this. And then if they see someone else get in the situation, they'll just walk away. They have no F's given if something bad happens to them. It's funny at times, but then sometimes it could get pretty annoying, so to speak. And also, yeah, let me get to Newman. Oh my god, Newman's such a best character. And apparently, he voiced Al in Toy Story 2. I didn't know that. And then I heard his voice, like, you sound like that toy collector guy from Toy Story 2. It's like, oh my god, it is you. Oh my god. And he's more annoying than that guy. It's like, Wayne Knight's such a treat. I mean, such a treat. I mean, I've only seen him in those 2 projects. I gotta check out what else he's doing. He's a phenomenal actor. He's very funny. He should have gotten a show. I mean, if Michael Richard, i.e. Kramer's actor, got his own TV show, Wayne Knight should have gotten his own show. Come on. I mean, I made this point with Alan Tudyk at the beginning of the year, or last year. I don't forget when that rookie episode came out. If anyone deserves a show, and everyone deserves a new sitcom show, it should be Wayne Knight. He was just so gosh darn funny. And they really shouldn't put more in the series. He should have. That was a wasted opportunity. Like, you know, I know he was supposed to be like the douchebag side character, but he deserved to not be in the core group, but just to like be more involved in certain plot. And I think they did put more of him in the later seasons, but oh god, I gotta get more tea down the line. But I mean, that's my opinion. That's my general opinion. Again, this is a quick impression, so this is not really a typical review format. I'm just jumping my ideas now and then. It's only 9 seasons for the. I honestly thought this at least reached 10. Like, it makes no sense why they didn't go for season 10. And then I read interviews that the actor Jerry Seinfeld didn't want to do 10 seasons, and he didn't want to risk doing another set of 20 plus episodes just to get to the 10th season, just to have a full decade of Seinfeld. In my opinion, I think it's the right call. I don't know. It's kind of a mixed decision considering the fact that I won't spoil the finale. The finale is just an episode where like you got to go in there and just view it yourself. I've heard like George, he reached out to me before I saw the finale and he was texting me. Oh, I heard he saw the finale, had his own different opinions on it. And then people had their own like very mixed negative reactions to it. And I watched it and I'm like, no, this is fine. This is a perfect, suitable finale for these characters. Again, I won't spoil it if you know what I'm talking about. For me, I perfectly agree how things ended. It's how they said what you do it's like karma or like an eye for an eye, or it's just like, your actions will your something of that sort. Like what they did throughout the entire 9-year run and what happened to them at the very end of season 9. Honestly, it was poetic justice. Honestly, like, sure, the circumstances leading up to it were like, well, is that really the thing to get them out of it? But like, it was just that like the middle portion to the end of that episode was like, yes, this is exactly why these characters deserve the fate they got. Again, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but yeah, I know there's a Seinfeld successor in Curb Your Enthusiastic where I think one of the creators, like, it's actually his version of Seinfeld, but I heard great things about it. Maybe I'll do that someday in the future, but that's an HBO show, so I don't know where that exists at. But what else can I say? I mean, oh yeah, they had so many great guest stars throughout this run. I know Patrick Warner was in this show as David Putty. I think that was, I don't know why I'm thinking Putty. I'm thinking Power Rangers for some reason. I should watch Power Rangers though. Maybe I should do an episode on that. Anyway, back to it since I'm jumping all over the place here. What was I? There were some pretty cool guest stars, but I'm blanking the freaking name. Like, I know Patrick Warner was there. Damn, who else was in there? Oh yeah, so this is a very random reference. Again, this is me just watching too many TV shows. So I remember the Looney Tunes show I watched when I was a kid. The father of Lola I remember that voice so well because it was just so manly. It was just so powerful. And then when we got to the middle portion of Seinfeld, where it turns out, oh my God, that's the guy who turns out to be Elaine's new boss. I'm like, oh my God, he still looks manly in person. Oh my God. And the voice never changes. Damn. Yeah, so I forgot the actor's name. I really did forget. But I just enjoy Seinfeld. I think my favorite points was the Kramer stuff. I don't know. Like the stupid situations Kramer got into was, oh man, it was just funny. I just there was the reverse peephole. I remember where it's like I remember his reaction. Like it was his ingenious idea, and then he gets screwed over by it. It's like, oh my god, they should have really made a Kramer spinoff. They really should have. I know it would have been something akin to Joey from Friends, where it's like, is Kramer really gonna work on his own? Honestly, I do think so. There was a moment in somewhere in the middle of Seinfeld where he gets his own job temporarily, and it seems like he was carrying his life fully. I mean, perfectly fine without Jerry and Co. So, I would have easily saw that. Plus, pair him up with Wayne Knight's Newman, maybe added a couple new characters. Like, boom, there you go, spin-off material right there. So they should have done that. They did the Michael Richards show, which is the actors' spin-off show. And from what I heard, that sucked. Did it suck? I don't know. It got canceled after one season, so I'm assuming it sucked. I don't know. If it's not as bad as Inhumans, I'm not really gonna compare that to that. But anyway, I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything else. I mean, honestly, to God, this show was just fun. It was a fun treat. I don't remember much of it though. I would consider watching a rewatch in the future. I really wouldn't do that anytime soon because I don't know why. I never really tend to go to re-binging shows like right away. It needs some time to settle. I mean, I haven't seen Seinfeld since I think I wrapped that around July. So yeah, around July I wrapped that up. So I know it's been like a stretch because so it's not really recent in my thought, but it was so funny in the moment and it's in the time period I was binging it throughout April to July that I really did enjoy it. I really did. I would love to jump back into that world again, at least in a rewatch perspective. I know there are scenes, supposedly successor scenes on the Curb Your Enthusiastic show, so maybe one day I'll watch that just to see it. I don't know. Again, my schedule is pretty packed right now between Arrow, Doctor Who, and the other shows I'm doing on the side. I just want to knock out a lot of shows before we get back to the next television season. So I'm trying to do my best. So I don't think it's on the table for now, but anyway, for Seinfeld, I really did enjoy it. I think it was just a wonderful treat to watch through. It kind of has a lot of like dick moments, like people being dick moments, which sometimes can be funny and then sometimes can be, you could have done that better, but what can you do? But anyway, I really did enjoy Seinfeld. It's on Hulu. You can binge all 9 seasons now. Oh yeah, B movie. I forgot about B movie. There was like, oh my god, like I forgot my first moment with Jerry Seinfeld was in B movie. If you have not seen B movie, go see that. I think that's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. So go check that out. That's a really good, damn good movie. That really is. So yeah, for me personally, just to wrap it up, I really did enjoy Seinfeld. I think it was one of those like very hilarious comedies of the 90s where I think it's not for everyone. Again, comedy is very subjective. I don't think everyone will enjoy it, but give the first season a chance. It's only like 6 episodes season 1, which is crazy for me to believe. It's only 6 episodes, but so by the end of season 1, or maybe if you want to dabble into season 2 and you're still not up to speed with it, you can bounce out. But I think after that, you just start to get into the rhythm of the episode. And you start getting into the rhythm of the show, which again, it's a show about nothing. So it's really about nothing. Like it's just your day-to-day life. That's basically it. That's the whole premise of the show. And I think that works in benefit for the characters and for the scenario of living in New York City in the 90s. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So again, go watch Seinfeld on Hulu. Let me know in the comments. Did you watch Seinfeld? Did you enjoy it? Are you gonna watch Seinfeld? Let me know. I'm always open to the conversation below in the comments. And I think that's gonna be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually kind of aggravated I didn't put in a stand-up bit in this episode. I'm not really much of a comedian man, but could have maybe done a stand-up set for like 5 minutes. Actually, no, my camera. So here's the thing for the new setup we're doing. Again, this is also just a channel. I mean, if you watch my Young Sheldon quick impression, it's totally different. I'm still working things out with the setup and everything. But what was I going to say? Okay, so my camera's like very limited on time, so I really can't do these quick impressions for that long. Again, these are quick impressions. They were never meant to be super long, in my opinion. They were just meant to like be very medium length, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah. Two thumbs up in my book. Go watch Seinfeld. So again, if you were unaware, this has been What's in the Tubes quick impressions, where every now and then, or now that we're doing the every season review format on the other two shows, I would come in, talk about a show I watch in some point in the recent, months. Talk about it for a bit. It's not a proper review. It's not a proper series review or anything. It's just me talking about it for a bit, and then kind of giving you like a little bit of like a tease of like how would you watch it or not, or can I push you to watch it, like that sort of thing. Usually these quick impressions nowadays are meant to be fill-ins for either our every Arrow season reviewed or every Doctor Who series reviewed also on ActionX, which both air on Tuesdays and Saturdays respectfully. This was in subjective for Arrow season 3 review since sad to say me and Sal were not able to get that recorded on time. We will be back next week though for the season 3 review. I can't wait to get that to it. And then the next quick impressions will be next week on Saturday. So if you just want to hear me talk about a random TV show, come back next week Saturday. If you're interested in Arrow, first 2 season reviews are up. Go check them out. We can really use the views because I like people hearing our conversational pieces. And also, our Doctor Who Series 1 review is also out, so go check that out if you're also curious in Doctor Who. But if you only care about Seinfeld, what can I say? That was it. That was my one-hit wonder right there. That's going to be it. So, what can you do? But anyway, again, if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of What's in the Tube, specifically our quick impressions, please subscribe to ActionX on YouTube.com. Ring the bell for notification when our next review of sorts is live. Like, favorite, share if you want to, but it does really help us out, get us more acquainted with the algorithm. I don't know what that means. I really don't know. I'm a dumb when it comes to the algorithm of YouTube. I really am. As well as follow us on Twitch, where we're streaming there once every weekend, and then follow us on Twitter where we update you guys on whenever something comes out. I don't know. But again, thank you for watching. Hope everyone's being safe out there, being good to each other. And I'll see you folks somewhere down the line. I don't know. That's the problem with these quick impressions. Like, are you going to come back? Were you just curious? Do you like my happy face? I don't know. That was pretty creepy. I apologize. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are great. I'll see you guys down the road or see you next time. Peace out.